You picked up your phone, you unlocked it, and now you're looking at a screen with nothing on it. No message, no notification, nothing waiting. You put it back down. 90 seconds later, you do it again. You knew there was nothing there. You knew it the first time, and your hand reached for it anyway. It's easy to call that addiction, but it doesn't fit. An addiction has a reward at the end of it, a drink, a hit, something you actually get. You didn't get anything. You checked an empty screen, and the emptiness didn't stop you. It sent you back sooner. So whatever pulled your hand isn't the payoff. It's something that happens before the payoff. In the 90s, a neuroscientist named Wolfram Schultz put electrodes into the dopamine neurons of monkeys and gave them drops of juice. The first time the juice arrived, the neurons fired hard. Dopamine everywhere, exactly what you'd expect from a reward. Then he added a light. Light first, juice a second later, over and over. And something strange happened. The neurons stopped firing at the juice. They fired at the light. The reward hadn't changed. The monkey still drank it, but the dopamine had moved backwards. Off the reward, onto the thing that promised the reward. Then Schultz ran the cruel version. The light came on, and no juice arrived. The dopamine didn't just stay flat, it dropped below where it started. Here's what that overturned. What Schultz had found wasn't a pleasure signal. It was an error signal. These neurons don't report how good something was. They report how much better or worse it was than expected. Get exactly what you predicted, and they stay quiet. Get something you didn't see coming, and they fire. So the system was never measuring how good your life is. It was measuring the gap between what you expected and what arrived. And the wider that gap can be, the harder it fires. If that still sounds like a technicality, there's a second line of research that settles it. When researchers severely disrupted the dopamine systems of rats, the animals stopped working for food. They wouldn't cross the cage for it. They wouldn't press for it. But when food was placed directly in their mouths, their faces showed exactly the same pleasure reactions as before. They could still like it. They had lost the wanting. Liking and wanting turned out to be separable, and your phone is far better at producing the wanting than the liking. Now look at what the thing in your pocket actually is. It's a light that sometimes has juice behind it. Skinner worked this out with pigeons before anyone had seen a dopamine neuron. Feed an animal every single time it presses a lever, and it presses calmly. It knows what's coming. There is no gap. Feed it sometimes, unpredictably, with no pattern it can learn, and something breaks. The animal presses constantly, and it doesn't stop when the food does. That pattern has a name: variable ratio reinforcement. It produces some of the most persistent behavior in the lab. Pressing that is remarkably hard to extinguish long after the food has stopped. That isn't a metaphor for your phone. It's the same principle running on the same wiring. Every slot machine on Earth is built on it. So, in part, is the gesture where you pull the screen down to refresh it. But a casino is a building. You have to drive to it, walk in, and sit down. This one lives in your pocket, and you need it for your job, your bank, and everyone you love. And here's the part that should sit badly. An empty screen is not the system failing. It is the system working. If your phone rewarded you every single time, the pull would fade. Your brain would learn the pattern, close the gap, and stop firing. The nothing is what keeps you coming back. The uncertainty is the product. It's also why the scrolling never feels as good as the reaching. You're not enjoying it. You were never meant to. Only the wanting is running. So stop counting your screen time and count the reaches instead. The pocket check, the unlock at the red light, the one you did in the last 10 minutes without deciding to. Almost none of them returned anything. You have spent years inside a loop that was never going to pay out, because a loop that paid out would have let you go. But look at the mechanism again, because it names the way out. And the way out isn't willpower. The signal doesn't fire at the reward. It fires at the possibility. Remove the possibility, and the pull dies with it, on its own, without a fight. That's why deleting an app works, and using it less doesn't. One of them removes the light. The other asks you to sit under a light that is still blinking. And it's why a phone in another room is a completely different object than a phone lying face down on your desk. Same phone, same apps, but only one of them can still promise you something. So the next time your hand goes for it, and it will, probably within the hour, do one thing. Pick it up. Don't unlock it. Just hold it and wait 5 seconds. You'll feel something pulling in those 5 seconds. Something that wants the screen to light up. That isn't you, that's the light, asking for its juice. And once you've felt the difference, you can't unfeel it. Subscribe. This channel is about the machinery running underneath your life.